It is another Tuesday, which means it is time for more Let's Talk Tuesdays. I am BrendenPlayz, and this has been a pretty big week. We've got some great stuff we've got to get into this week. Obviously, some big talking points have come out of Monday Night Raw, so this should be a good episode. So let's get straight into it. First one comes from Julianne Calderon. Your thoughts on Daniel Bryan being stripped of the title? Obviously, this is the main talking point of Monday Night Raw. I think it had to happen, because if he's not cleared for Money in the Bank, do we really want to go 2 pay-per-views without the world title being defended? I certainly don't. I feel as though Payback was missing something, and I think the WWE was lucky that they had 2 big headline feuds heading towards Payback. They don't have that anymore. I mean, the Bray Wyatt John Cena feud, that's ended, so it seems. The Shield and Evolution, they're not having another match because, you know, obviously Rollins has gone to Evolution, and Randy Orton, he's in the Money in the Bank ladder match anyways. So I don't know what the hell's going on there. Are they going to have singles matches? That's the rumor, apparently, that Ambrose and Rollins will have a singles match, and, you know, maybe Reigns and Triple H will do something. I don't know, but honestly, I don't know what's going on there. So obviously, we don't have those 2 big headline pay-per-view matches to make up for the fact that we don't have a world title match. So if they went into Money in the Bank and they didn't have a world title match, well, you know, it's logical that, look, enough is enough. 2 pay-per-views in a row, gotta cut your losses. Just give Bryan, you know, some extra time off. Drop the title, and then he can bring him back at SummerSlam for his quest to get the championship back. Now, my thoughts on it, obviously, I'm pretty happy that he lost the title. I mean, I do like Daniel Bryan. He's not my favorite, but I thought that he really deserved a title reign, and I was looking forward to seeing him hold the championship at least till SummerSlam, probably up until Survivor Series, but now, you know, just a real bad run of luck for him at the moment. And he's lost the title, so the real talking point is, who the hell is going to be the next champion? And I know a lot of you guys have been asking me that. I have no idea. I really have no idea. Who the hell can they give the championship to? I was thinking of a couple of possible scenarios. This is the thing. Do we push some new stars? Cesaro, Barrett, Bray Wyatt? I mean, I don't think any of those 3 guys are really ready. I think if anyone out of those 3 are ready for the world title, it's Bray Wyatt. The other 2, I don't think so. But I don't think Bray Wyatt really needs the world title. I mean, although if he did have the world title, I think it would work out really well on storyline, because he really would have the whole world in his hands, because he's the face of the company now. So I think the storyline, Bray Wyatt having the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, would actually work out very, very well. Barrett's the Intercontinental Champion. Cesaro, he's lost a lot of steam since being with Heyman, so I don't think so. I think Cesaro was obviously one of the favourites to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. He was my favourite, so will he win the actual ladder match to become the world champion? I don't know. Maybe. Randy Orton or John Cena would probably be the other 2 front runners, because, let's face it, you can rely on those 2 guys to give decent ratings. You know, you're not going to lose too much. You're probably not going to gain too much either, but it's not going to be too drastic of a loss for Daniel Bryan dropping the championship belt. And you have someone who's reliable, and you can hold and steady the ship for a while until Daniel Bryan's back. Obviously, whoever wins the championship is probably going to be a transitional champion as is, unless they really change plans and just forget about Daniel Bryan, because when Bryan's back, I imagine him winning the championship back. Obviously, I think at probably SummerSlam, I imagine Daniel Bryan coming back and facing off against whoever is the champion and beating them. You know, a lot of rumors was that Brock Lesnar was going to be involved in the world title picture around SummerSlam. So do they bring him in now? I mean, I would love to see Brock Lesnar be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, win the Money in the Bank. Well, actually, sorry, it's just a ladder match now. Win the ladder match, win the championship, hold it, and lose it at SummerSlam, and then have a return match at Night of Champions, and, you know, go from there. But I don't think he's going to work that many matches. So there's so many different ways you could go about it. Personally, I think it'd be a good opportunity to give someone a run. But in saying that, I think whoever he does get the championship is going to be a transitional champion. So, I mean, as long as it's not Del Rio or Sheamus or someone like that, unless you turn Sheamus heel, then maybe, but honestly, I don't know. So, really, it's up in the air. If you ask me, I've got no idea. So, my guess, I think they'll go conservative and maybe give, you know, Randy Orton or someone a run, because I can't see them really, you know, trying out, you know, Cesaro or someone, because I think it's too soon. In my opinion, it would not be good for the either of these up-and-coming guys to get the championship right now. But one guy, though, I think who'd actually really work with the title right now is Seth Rollins. He's got a whole lot of steam with him right now. Maybe he could be a guy they could look to. You know, he's been a huge talking point. Everyone's talking about him lately, so you know, maybe a quick change of plans, give him the championship belt, and, you know, perhaps the Shield will fight over the world title belt against Seth Rollins. Just a thought. The next one comes from Will Levesque. Who will end up having the best career? Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, or Bray Wyatt? Well, you could probably say Bray Wyatt straight off the bat, but when you think about it, I think Luke Harper is probably going to be the front runner. Everybody's kind of looking at Luke Harper going, yeah, this guy's got something. This guy's going to be a big star of the future, because, you know, you see the shit he can do in the ring. You're like, holy shit, how can this guy at this size do all this kind of stuff? It's unbelievable. And he's getting more promo time recently, and he's, you know, he can cut a promo. He's got a big, bad, scary look, so he's tall, he's massive. So I think he can really play the monster role for a long time now. I mean, you know, Kane, Undertaker, and Big Show, the three big tall guys, they're on their way out. Khali, he's no more. So a couple of really tall 300-pound monsters are really needed to fill the void. And I think Luke Harper can certainly be that guy in the future. Eric Rowan, I mean, I don't know about him. You know, obviously, I feel as though he's the weak link of the Wyatt family. He's got probably a lot more time to develop, and I don't think there's any rush to try to push him into anything at the moment. And he's not really getting any promo time. I think the one thing he says right now is follow the buzzers. So, obviously, one line is not enough to see if he can cut promo or whatever, but in the ring, he's alright. So, I don't know. I mean, I think it's either going to be Luke Harper or Bray Wyatt. I think Bray Wyatt I see him as a world champion. I mean, we just discussed it a moment ago. I think Bray Wyatt could certainly be the world champion. How long has his gimmick got? I don't think his gimmick is a long-term thing. I mean, we said that, though, probably about The Undertaker when he first came in. You know, is the gimmick going to be... Was it going to last 20-plus years? Probably not. So, you know, he could surprise us. But I think Bray Wyatt certainly will have a very, very good career, as will Luke Harper. But I think in terms of maybe longevity, in terms of, you know, being... you know, in the main event constantly, I think Luke Harper probably has the best chance simply because of his size. He's, you know, just, you know, the look of him, and certainly he's got everything you need in a monster. I think he's probably one of the best big man workers I've seen for a long time. So I think Luke Harper probably, right at the moment, will have the best career long term. Obviously, in the next 2-3 years, I think Bray Wyatt will have the better career out of the three. If they do split up, which I think they will, some people have been asking me that, I think they will split up eventually. Every team splits up, really, but so in the short term, I think Bray Wyatt's going to be the star, but probably similar to, you know, like Evolution. We thought, you know, Randy Orton was going to be the guy, and then, you know, maybe then you see someone like Batista come through and, you know, ends up being the guy. So you can see, you know, not always the guy that they pinpoint to be the star of the trio or whatever, the star of the stable, ends up being the biggest star. So I think we're going to see that probably again with Luke Harper. I mean, Bray Wyatt is awesome, though. You know, nothing against him. He's freaking incredible. So I think both those guys are probably just going to have probably going to have Hall of Fame careers if they're around long enough. You know, I think they're both going to be surefire Hall of Famers. You know, you could just kind of see that now. You know, if they're around for 10+ years, they're going to have a real solid career, no doubt about that. Eric Rowan could be debated, but I certainly think at least Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt will certainly have two very solid careers. Auburn fan, who do you think could win the Divas title from Paige? Hopefully anyone. Paige's title reign sucks. Paige, I don't know, I'm not buying into it. I'm just not feeling it right now. She's not doing it for me. I don't really find her that hot or anything like that either. So, you know, her real drawing card, what is it? I mean, to me, I think she needed a little bit more time in the minors. I think she's got to go back to NXT and, you know, work on it a little bit, because she struggles ever since she's been up the main roster. She's just pulling out 2 or 3 moves. She's getting her ass kicked every match, does 2 or 3 moves, and then ends up winning. I think Alicia Fox, though, I think she deserves the title run. I mean, she's still in the show right now. She's getting more attention out of all the divas. Obviously, when AJ Lee comes back, I think AJ Lee should get the title. I think a Paige versus AJ Lee feud would be great, in my opinion. But I don't think Paige is ready to step up to that level yet. I mean, Alicia Fox, I mean, you could say Stone Cold Alicia Fox or whatever, but she's been good. She's got actually a storyline. She's got some kind of gimmick. They're actually putting some focus and attention on her, which is quite rare for the divas. So I think Alicia Fox could be a front runner, but, you know, as we see with WWE, they always do a couple of week or couple of month pushes for divas, and then they, you know, they go back into doing nothing. I was actually surprised Alicia Fox is still on TV after losing at Payback, so that's something. I don't know what they're going to do, but at the moment, I guess the only one you could really say would be Alicia Fox. I can't see Natalya or anybody winning it, so Alicia Fox. This is a good follow-up question. Good friend of the show, J. Rod Anderson. Should there be 2 matches on the card for Divas just to add more rivalries? Well, on pay-per-view cards, probably not. I mean, the interest for Divas at the moment is at an all-time low. There really isn't any Divas that have established themselves to be, anything more than a piss break. So, to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to see it. Should there be more on Raw and SmackDown and main event? Yeah, definitely. I only really watch Raw anyways. I don't watch SmackDown main event. So, as far as I'm concerned, throw all the Divas matches you want on that show. But I think they should have more than one match on Raw at least, and actually have storylines and have rivalries. Give us a reason to watch the Divas. It's not too hard. I mean, it's the same with the mid-card. All you have to do is create storylines, create rivalries, create meaningful matches. People will get involved. People will watch. People will get invested in those characters. Do character development on the Divas. They've done really, really well for Alicia Fox in recent weeks. It's simple. You do that with 4 or 5 Divas, and all of a sudden you've got a decent little Divas division building there, and then you can start to build and bring up other Divas as well to build on that. So it's not that difficult to really create a good Divas division. They just have to make us care. So if they make us care, they create good storylines and make us invested in those storylines, then sure, more matches the better. Cobhead Jake, he wants to know, given the recent implosion of the Shield and the inevitable split of the Rhodes Brothers, which tag team do you think could split next, if any? Well, I would probably say Ryback would be a front runner, because I think, in my honest opinion, I want to see Ryback get pushed as a singles guy. I think Ryback is criminally underused right now. I'm a big Ryback fan. I would love to see him back in the world title picture. Was really rooting for him in 2012 when he was on top. That was really awesome. I was really happy to see him there. Now he's just, I don't know. But the Ryback team I really like, though. I don't really want them to split anytime soon. But realistically, every team pretty much splits. I think the only team right now that probably is safe from splitting is the Usos. But even then, the WWE will probably split them one day. God, I hope not. But realistically, every team, they need more teams. They're struggling. I wouldn't mind seeing 3MB split, to be honest with you, as well. I think Drew McIntyre losing to frickin' El Torito, Jesus Christ, man, that's really sad. So I think 3MB's probably run its course as well. So maybe split those guys up. I mean, then again, what the hell are you going to do with those guys? And who's going to lose to who? Who's going to be the punching bag? I mean, Zack Ryder can only lose so many times in a night. So, it's a difficult one. But realistically, every team's going to go eventually. And all the teams right now suck. There's really nothing. The tag team division is really piss poor. I mean, Usos haven't had a title match for 2 months. 2 pay-per-views in a row. How sad is that? So it doesn't really even matter which team is next to go, because the tag division is terrible. Abdul Wahab Alfaz, I hope I said that right. He wants to know, do you think Adam Rose will have a US or IC title match soon? I hope not. Adam Rose sucks. The gimmick's terrible. Honestly, I don't know if I said it on these videos, but I gave the gimmick less than 1 month. I don't know if he was on Raw this week. I missed a little bit of Raw. He might have been on when I missed it. I missed the Cesaro RVD match. I think maybe I missed something else there. But if he was on Raw, then okay, I missed it. But I don't even care about Adam Rose. I mean, the gimmick has a very short lifespan. Honestly, I can't see him doing anything. I see him on Superstars jobbing out, and I see him dancing around with Santino in a couple of weeks, to be honest with you. And today's final question comes from 100 Joker. What's your favorite match of all time? Well, my favorite match of all time is probably not a favorite match of any one of you guys. It's a favorite match because it's, it just has a bit of sentimental value to it. It was the first pay-per-view main event match that I ever saw, and it was from Vengeance 2005, Batista versus Triple H. Batista is my favorite wrestler of all time, and I really love the storyline between Batista and Triple H. And obviously, I started watching WWE late 2005. I got this Vengeance DVD probably started 2006, and this was the first pay-per-view I ever saw. So this is my first Hell in a Cell match I ever saw, and I must have been 10 years old or something. So it was. I've watched it maybe 5 or 6 times. I think it's a fantastic match, and it is my favorite match. But I still thought it was a really good match. Looking back on it now, I thought it was still a really freaking good Hell in a Cell match. So yeah, my opinion. Well, my favorite match of all time is that. I don't think it's the best match of all time. I think probably the best match of all time. You could argue maybe Undertaker and Shawn Michaels from the WrestleMania. So I've seen those a few times as well. Those are really freaking good matches. But my favorite match, certainly Batista Triple H, just because, you know, it was my first pay-per-view main event I ever saw. First Hell in a Cell match. So that was pretty cool. So that'll do it this week, guys, for this edition of Let's Talk Tuesdays. Of course, if you want your questions answered, you have to put them in the comments section down below. As well as that, you can go to my forum, which I highly encourage you guys to go and do, BrendenPlayz.com. Click the forums link and go there. There will be a section under General Discussion under BrendenPlayz, and you can put your Let's Talk Tuesday questions right there. As you see them throughout my videos, you can see the forum questions on there. So your questions will get answered probably a little bit probably more frequently if you put them on the forums, just saying. So I highly recommend you guys go and do that. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all next Tuesday for more Let's Talk Tuesdays.